This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life.
Welcome to Dead Radio.
We're not doing that.
How did she come to have sex with a dead man?
Don't call me Radio Unit 91.
You're a dead man. You're a dead man!
He's God here in this radio station.
Place where the dead speak.
Rebel Radio!
I'm a fake? Yes. How'd you like to be dead?
You ever think about doing radio?
My team is dead!
But you're not crazy. You're me. And this is just radio.
By the powers vested in me by the Federal Communications Commission, I command you to get on the microphone in a serious manner and continue this broadcast.
All right. Okay. Eisen still doesn't seem to like you guys. Episode number 152 off and running.
There's definitely something wrong.
John Bryan Esquire over here.
It's the fourth. It's the fourth. Okay.
Reading over his photo and video and please don't sue Ryan release form.
Yeah, I mean, I was here on this show maybe, 2 years ago or something at this point. And
Yeah.
we definitely did not have a disclaimer to sign. You guys are really...
Do you want to know how many dozens of episodes that's been? Dozens and dozens. That's just something I want to talk to you about a little while.
I just want to know what I'm signing. That's all. I just want to read over
I
it.
mean,
You want to read it out loud for the...
it's a lot.
Oh, God, this is...
There's a lot of text. I just signed it, man.
That's right.
I know,
That's
you
the
just went
sign.
with it.
That is
That's
the
the
that is
problem.
the sign of a true musician. Just sign
just
the
sign it,
fucking
dude.
thing. Deal with it later.
Yeah, this is tomorrow's problem.
90% of that is just 90% of that is just for people that are drinking on the show, which neither one of you are, and for people that play music live on the show. Just basically saying, like, you own the intellectual property, we own the recording.
That's right.
You know, any release we'd have to agree on, blah, blah, blah.
Is your last name actually Brian?
I did write the
Yeah.
wrong date.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Why?
'Cause people with two first names, like, this makes me nervous.
Does your entire band have, like, abbreviated last names?
Yeah, so we
You
have...
know, now that you said it, we definitely got a singer who goes, well, he goes by 4 letters.
Four
instead
letters?
Of just the 2.
Yeah,
like
isn't
the
it-
rest
Tell
of
me
us.
they're all Q's.
Yeah,
it's
they're all
like
cute.
it's like PKRKS or something like that. Am I
Yeah.
close?
You're very close. Very
All
close.
right.
What is it?
It's PRKR.
PRKR. I'm not calling that guy that. I'm glad he's not here. That's too complicated.
I know his real
What
name.
is it short for? It's probably shorter to just say it.
It's short for Jason.
Duh.
Okay. So, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. The two bearded gentlemen with me to my left, immediate left, is JB.
Hello.
And across from him, to my, going clockwise from me, is DJ.
What up?
It's the Sesame Street version of Dead Radio. This week. But these guys are from Dead Empires. JB, if you're a fan of the show, you remember his appearance on the show with JJ. Yup. That's not a joke.
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
I've started a thing.
All right. So, yeah, they are with Dark Side Records in Poughkeepsie, but we're not here to talk about that crappy place and their crappy podcast. We're here to talk
Their
about
crappy
Dead-
podcasts.
Wow. For the record, only one of them is really crappy. All right? The other one's just regular crappy.
Okay, so I listened to the Dorkside podcast.
Yes.
Um,
We're going to
there's-
critique.
No, it's a good episode.
This is about
No,
Dead Empires.
No, but you specifically
damn it.
said if you want to say stuff to us, tweet at, and then nobody ever replied, nobody ever acknowledged.
Dorkside Pod.
Yeah. Yeah, I tweeted at you a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what?
I didn't say
Everybody
we
gets a
would.
response?
Yeah.
What is this? It's fucking Twitter, man.
I was
I like
expecting
it.
some
Screaming into the
attention.
void.
I didn't
How
fucking
many
say
people?
we-
How many people tweeted at you that you couldn't give me some attention?
One.
One? It was just me. Right?
Just you.
But I thought that was a very funny line where you're like, "This is a monthly podcast that we record biannually."
That's right. That's right.
It had been what, 6 or 7 months?
It had been 6 months since the last one, and the one before that was also 6 months. At least we're consistent.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
And you're like, so we were gonna recap everything since the last episode, but that's too much. So let's just do last month.
Yes. So we did. Exactly.
You just talked about Star Wars.
Yeah. We want to be like on the forefront of cutting edge nerdy things, you know. So we hear Star Wars Episode 8 is the hot button topic right now.
And you talked about it 2.5 months after it came.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have not seen it.
Well, see, then don't listen to the podcast.
I won't.
We spoil a lot of
Bring
shit.
back Han Solo. It's fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In carbonite. But
I don't believe in spoiling movies.
Yeah,
No.
I just like to me.
Yeah, don't listen to the last episode of Dorkside Podcast because you'll find out all the information we all found out about 2 months ago.
But to be fair, I mispronounce and misname pretty much every single character because I don't know who anybody is. So you could
I'm
go
the same
in.
way.
Yeah, and you might not actually have anything spoiled.
Oh really?
Like I definitely talk about Grand Mothman as one person. And like General Hodo or something. I just make
Hoda?
shit up. 'Cause who?
Hoda. I know. Like, I'm sorry.
Kathy Lee's
Never mind.
co-host. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huda Aberdeen? I don't know. Aberdeen, Washington.
That's Huma.
Oh,
I
there you
don't
go.
know. I fancy myself quite the Star Wars geek, but I go like back, not forward, in the legends and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You're one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know a
that's-
little bit too much about Jedis and whatnot. I mean, we can talk about the rule of two.
I'm good
All
on
right,
that.
never mind.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. You got to understand on my nerdy podcast. God damn it! I don't want to talk about my other podcast. On my nerdy podcast, I'm like the Mark. I'm the dumb guy who doesn't actually know things. I'm there so that my other co-host, who is very nerdy, can get really angry at how little I know, and when I talk shit about it, it makes him even more angry. Like when I misname characters.
Like podcast. That's gonna be like.
Yeah, we've been trying to put this D&D podcast together just to try it out.
It's been done.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. But we want to do it because we know a guy who writes for fucking the people that make D&D.
Yeah, and Pathfinder.
He's been on the
mostly,
show, Lou. But so I just had this idea because a bunch of people at work play D&D, and Lou was there, and I was like, let's do this. And then the more we talk about it, the less I want to do it. So now I'm just kind of letting you guys, if you guys want to plan it all, it'll happen.
I don't think it's ever going to happen.
It's not ever going to happen because
What is actually happening?
I would need to reach out to the 8 people involved and schedule it. And I don't really want to do it anymore. So unless someone else does it, it's not going to happen.
Well, what is happening? Uh-oh. What's up?
Here's what you should do a podcast about Magic the Gathering.
Oh.
Fuck
Matthew
yes.
be into that
then,
too.
Please.
then we're back in.
Call me.
Yeah, a band. I don't know if you know the guys from Womb of Nations.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it up once, and now they're like, "So when's that D&D podcast happening?"
I
And they all want to fucking play.
I really want to be there.
So,
Like
but-
he wrote us an email longer than that disclaimer that you just signed, with like 6 different D&D podcasts that he likes, and how he's very excited and wants to come on.
I didn't get that
You
email.
didn't get that email?
I don't think I did.
No, he sent it
Jesus
to both of
Christ.
us.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I don't always read the emails.
I know.
Gonna give me shit about Twitter. Comes full circle so fast.
I was just expecting like at least a retweet. That's just like, that's it. That's all you had to do.
That's not how it
many
goes.
followers you got?
It's not important.
I'm gonna say single digits.
Yeah,
single
ours
digit
is
followers.
too probably.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I hate Twitter.
All
right, wait. So let's stop. Why are we here? Let's talk about why we're here.
I keep trying to get to it.
I know, and I keep.
It doesn't seem that way.
I keep
I know.
rolling over it because I just want to talk. I want to proliferate the fake rivalry we have with Dark Side Records podcast.
I appreciate that. Times and places.
What we're really here
Yeah,
for
why are we here?
is Dead Empire's newest release, Designed to Disappear. Yes.
Yeah.
You guys have been around for quite a while. I didn't know about this. I know I've heard... When you first mentioned the name to me, I know I had heard it before. I'm not sure. And you're like, not Dead Empire. That's a different band. And then...
I don't know if they're even still around.
We've
Dead Empire.
outlasted everybody.
Yeah.
I had no idea you've been putting out, you've been releasing stuff since 2011. So, is that correct? Is it what I gathered from, what's the album, Momentum?
Monuments.
Monuments.
Sure. Yeah, let's see what
2011?
Bandcamp says.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, Bandcamp. Oh, Jesus. I just fucked it up.
What Bandcamp says.
Let's see here. DBDB.
No, that's definitely right, because I remember when that came out, we were working together.
February 15th. So almost 7 years to the day was your first release.
Dude, we have like
We've been crushing it.
we are crushing every February.
Yeah.
Every album we've released has come out in February.
Perfect.
We got a thing. Now we got to stick to it.
All right.
So
Nobody else wants to release an album in February, so it's perfect.
well, that's supposed to be that dead month,
Yeah.
right? Like no one wants to be
Get
a
it?
part of.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
Well, it's the slowest
Cheers.
retail time of the year for almost everything.
I think you can quote my good friend Justin Johnson, aka JJ, but I believe it's August is the worst
August
month
is
of the year.
far and away the worst month
maybe
for
for-
buying and selling shit.
Yeah,
It's the worst.
specifically music
Definitely.
releases.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, because I had just heard that it's the worst month of the year for the mall is February.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Fuck them all.
I don't know
Yeah.
if the mall people are our main demographic.
But I mean, if you're
that
you're
we're
into the
targeting.
mall, you could check out the Crafted Cup in the
Yeah.
Galleria.
Well done.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Do we have to talk about them?
Technically, we only really owe him like 2 plugs a month, but I mean, he does fucking pay all of our bills. So
At this point, this
check
whole
out the Crafted Cup.
this whole stream has just
I
been
will.
shameless advertising.
Yeah.
This whole
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting to that point.
You got
We
to
have
pepper it in so people can't fast forward over it. That's the whole thing.
That's the trick of it.
Yeah.
We'll have you do something before you leave too, so you can some pre-recorded
Yeah.
shit.
If we remember.
Yeah, there's the trick also. Yeah, so but you guys were originally just a no singer,
Instrumental.
just instrumental. I couldn't think of the word. Thank you.
I got you.
And now this is the first album with the singer,
Correct.
and his name is Perker.
So he is checking in on YouTube.
Is he commenting?
Perker?
Perker?
He said, "You will call me Perker," and DJ so sexy, whatever that
No.
means.
All right. All right.
What do you mean, whatever that means? Look at me. It's evident.
I feel
It's all in caps, so you yelled it. So.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason.
So what? Why a singer? Why pick up Perker?
We didn't plan on it. We wrote a whole new album in 2016. Over the course of the year, and when we got ready to record it, we were talking about doing some different stuff. And really, we wrote the song "The Form," which is the second track on the album, which we just put a lyric video out for, ironically.
Nice.
And
That video is not. I'm sorry to stop you, but that video is insane.
yeah, that's all Jason.
I fucking loved it.
Jason and Joe put that together, the dude who did our other video for Sleigh Rider. But we were fucking around with that song, and I kept screaming stuff into the mic while we were doing it. And then I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be funny if we just had like one song with vocals? And then that didn't happen that way. I don't know, somewhere along the line, Phil actually got the idea to call Jason and see if he wanted to do vocals on like a song. And the demo he gave us was so ridiculous that we asked him to do more and more and more. And then he was on the whole record. And that was
Holy
it.
shit! So it just kind of that's strange.
Yeah, we thought the album was done. We were like ready to go to the studio and everything, and then he came in and added all of his
so
shit.
he just kind of just went over whatever the hell you guys had.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much.
He
Yeah.
did like a Deftones thing. What was that album? One with Cherry Waves on it. Saturday Night Wrist. That's what they did.
That's actually the only
It's the only
Deftones
thing
album
he's
I
good
like.
at.
It's a great one. I love that record.
Super underrated. Everything else, not so good.
They did that on separate coasts.
Yeah.
Like I think Chino was on the East Coast and doing stuff with Crosses, and the other guys, the rest of the band was in. What are you looking at? You give me your side-eyeing me. I don't.
No,
like it.
no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking because I want to say there was some story. The guy who produced it, who produced that record. But I'm wondering if it was Saturday Night Wrist or if it was the one before. But there was one where, God damn it, I'm just gonna say a whole bunch of bullshit now. It's gonna be totally factually incorrect.
I'll have.
But I want to say
we'll have Adam fact check you.
it was like some guy who produced Pink Floyd and something like. He produced the record, and then Chino went and just recorded all the vocals separately. Maybe it was this record. Maybe it was in fact
bet
that one.
I think that was probably it. I don't know. I can check it if you're really interested.
I don't care one bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that information.
Jason, you're on the internet right now. Fact check us. Leave it in the comments.
That's pretty wild, though, and that's what you're gonna. That's what it is now.
Yeah, that's how it worked out. And
weird
how it worked. When you hear the songs, it doesn't sound that way. And everybody, that's what all the interviews we've done has been like, well, how much different was it to write the songs? And we're like, it wasn't.
Yeah, because we had the whole thing done.
Yeah.
So, but that's got to be, I mean, going forward, like that might be kind of weird.
Could be.
Because for all you know, he's just. But you don't know how he is during the creative process.
He's gonna be like Mark Wahlberg
very violent.
He's gonna be like Mark Wahlberg and Rockstar. He's gonna show up with his own music and his own art, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong? Get out of here."
Not. I mean, so far he's been super easy and like he's just open to do and try anything. So that's like all you can ask out of anybody that you're working with.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of bands have very different approaches to writing music. Like a lot of bands will write music and then find lyrics that fit it, or they'll have a whole bunch of shit written down. They'll put it together. Yeah. Like if you look at like the Doors, all the music was written after the lyrics. You look at Aerosmith, all the lyrics were written after the music.
I hate that process. I hate fitting fitting a song to lyrics. I feel that hinders you. I don't know if
it depends on who
you guys have never had to have that problem
I
before.
feel like
so
yeah, exactly.
If I were to
Talking to
guess,
a
I
wall.
would say fitting lyrics to a song is a little bit easier. Maybe having like this whole big thing and then putting it together. Did he write the lyrics to fit your music, or did he have a bunch of stuff, or is it just like and it doesn't matter?
I think for the most part,
definitely matters.
Yeah,
but oh my god,
I think for the most part he wrote to what we did, but there was definitely a little there was some tweaking of things and finding the right fits and adjusting counts and things because we wrote them without thinking about a singer in any way.
Yeah.
And then we kind of were like, all right, let's stretch this just a little bit so he can do a little more, or let's back this off so he can have some space to do his thing.
So you just kind of tweaked everything that you'd recorded in post, or did you re-record?
Oh no. We hadn't even hit the studio yet. We were just demoing everything. And,
okay.
We were still finishing.
I thought you meant that you were like done.
Oh no.
This
we
is
were
the
like
printed
we
record.
right.
There's two records out there. There's the first pressing and then the second pressing, which has vocals.
Yeah. No, that would be horrible.
So that kind of changes everything as far as what I was thinking because then he did have input on the creative process.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the songs didn't really change.
Yeah.
There was a couple things here and there, but I think 90 or 95% of it is like what we had done already, and he just added his thing.
That's pretty wild.
Things, I should say.
What would you consider yourself?
What do you mean?
Like
Human.
the genre, the genre of the music.
Oh, I don't know.
'Cause I love picking people's brains how they feel about this kind of stuff.
I used to
Yeah,
just call us
we're metal non-binary.
Yeah.
I used to just call us loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it certainly
good
is.
genre.
It's very loud, yes.
I love at the coffee shop or whatever, everybody there listens. Well, the only reason I say that is because I'm not really into that kind of like heavier stuff. Never used to be, but now like I'm hearing more of the heavier the stuff around the scene that's coming out, and just like I'm getting more into it. Just I don't know if it's got something to do with proximity or whatever, but it's more appealing to me now than it used to be. I used to be like, it's just a bunch of yelling. Now I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I just want to smash my steering wheel.
Sorry, guys, it's just too darn loud.
Yeah, I was.
So apparently,
Julie
your lead singer is looking to turn your band into an a cappella group eventually.
Sweet.
That's the 5 year.
with me.
That's
So
the
down.
5 year plan.
So down.
My back would appreciate that. Just show up with 4 lapel mics. A couple and hats.
So DJ, you're the bass player.
Yeah.
Have you been with and JB? You play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys been together since day one, or
No.
So
Yeah. He came in probably 3 years in, maybe.
3 years in. Yeah. I joined while they were recording the first full length, Waiting in Waves.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't even remember what year that came out.
I think that was 2012.
Really? And
I
it took
think so.
3 years to do Secret Snakes?
I think so. If only we had the power.
Hold on, let me just check.
Oh, yeah,
of
you
an,
got a
of an
phone in your
already
hand.
open
Don't
browser
make him
window.
do
Let me
I
just-
actually know
Let
it
me
was.
just check your
It
discography.
we recorded. It got recorded in 2012. I didn't record shit, but they recorded it in 2012. I don't know. I don't remember when it came out. I guess February of 2013. It must have been.
You might be right here. Hold on.
Yeah, I
Because that's when I moved to the Hudson Valley. So
Secret Snakes was released in February 3rd, 2015. Wow, Jesus. You weren't
And
kidding.
we actually we had someone who came into Darkside Records, where I happen to work, darksiderecords.com, 611 Touches Turnpike in Poughkeepsie. And we had somebody, see, that's how you pepper them in, baby. But we had some guy come in maybe 2 weeks ago, and he brought in a copy of Waiting in Waves. And it was kind of one of these things where I was like, God damn it, I have not even fucking looked at this thing in so long.
Yeah.
And we put it on, and we played it, and on the bottom, in the fine print, it says, first press, October 2012. But so it must have been exactly that.
Yeah.
We were planning for like 2012, and it ended up being February by the time it was said and done.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it goes. Like we thought we were gonna get this one out in July, but that's not how it works.
It's just the way it fucking
Yeah.
goes with that kind of shit. You were in bands before, I'm assuming?
Yeah, nothing noteworthy. Just garbage in high school and college. That's it.
Same.
Yeah, I've never
But this
actually-
is the one.
You guys
the
have been getting
noteworthy
great
one.
reviews
Yeah, thanks.
from a lot of pretty notable sites and everything like that. That's fucking that's great.
Indeed.
Yeah, we've been lucky. Decibel has always been really good to us, specifically, and Metal Sucks and Metal Injection, of course, because those are my dudes. But Decibel's premiering the whole album on Thursday.
Oh,
It
wow.
comes out on Friday, so you can keep an eye out for that. I guess it's going to be on the Decibel blog.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not officially out yet. It's,
That's correct.
It's out February 23rd.
Couple of days.
Yeah.
Friday.
But you can preview a couple tracks from on Bandcamp along with tracks from your other albums too.
I'm assuming. you could-
Deadempires.bandcamp.com.
I'm assuming you could
Nice.
probably pick up a copy at Darkside Records.
Definitely.
Yeah.
611 Touches Turnpike in Poughkeepsie.
That Dark Side Records?
Ah, right by the Burger King.
DarkSideRecords.com?
That's the one.
Okay, cool.
So what's it been like? Like what's it been like to be in a band? I don't know. I feel like
Pretty cool.
He's interviewed so many bands, his brain's just like, yeah, I don't know what to ask anymore. Because usually when we interview, it's easier for me today because I know you. But a lot of times bands come in, I'm like, yeah, I haven't listened to your music or done any research, and
Why
I
have him in
won't
then?
remember your name.
What's the point?
Well, because
terrible with
he's
that.
the music guy.
Okay.
I mean, I love music. I really love music, but he's like a beautiful mind kind of person with music. Nothing else. Anything else, you try and pry any information out of him, you get nothing. But he's just like he knows the drummer from Weezer's wife's name kind of thing.
Oh, Maryland?
Oh.
So yeah,
That
She's in
explains
that
that.
other band.
yeah. Yeah, he'd just be like, well, yeah, so they're kind of a super group, except for they were never really popular, and this band's also not popular, but he's the singer from this band and the drummer from this band who is also in this band with the singer's wife. And you're like, no one cared about any of that information.
That's important if you like
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah.
That's a very
Yeah.
incestuous scene.
I know a ton of that shit.
Yeah. So usually these shows, I just hang out, drink, have a few little one-liners here and there, and then I just write down titles the whole episode.
Okay.
That's it.
And
So,
I have like set questions that I love to ask because they usually comes out with some nonsense shit. What was the first album you ever bought?
Bought
On what format?
Yeah.
on CD, dude.
Not necessarily.
It would have to be. Well,
You
don't
first
wanna
year
date
old,
your-
I
you
don't
don't wanna
know.
date
Well,
yourself.
First album I ever bought was on cassette.
Okay.
So,
It's
Yeah.
like Grand Funk Railroad, best of on 8-track. It's like, how the fuck old are you?
Yeah.
I can tell you, I know the first CD I ever got was Pantera Vulgar Display of Power.
Wow.
Let's talk about cassette, because
That's
I
so
think
good.
we're all old enough to talk
Cassette,
about
I
cassettes.
think my first cassette. Oh, man. This is hard.
I think mine was Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness on cassette,
I had that double disc. I
Yeah.
still have it, I think.
which was like
cassette was like what?
multiple
5
cassettes. Yeah. Or I remember at least. No, I think what I did was I dubbed it from the CDs for my buddy, and that made more sense.
That's
'Cause
where
we
I
had a
get lost.
high-speed dubbing machine, My dad did. That was the shit. Right at the end of cassettes. I think it was Cracked a Review by Hootie and the Blowfish, the first CD I bought.
See, that's
classic.
I
can still listen to that album. I think it's good.
I still like Hootie and the Blowfish. My mom was a big fan. But like that's a good one where you're just like you're supposed to be embarrassed about it. But you're like, no, fuck it. That's a great album.
Yeah. Everybody had that fucking album. I didn't, but everybody else did.
So we've done ours on the show a bunch of times, but I think mine was Green Day Dookie on cassette.
Classic.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam 10.
Yeah.
I think mine was the Red Hot Chili Peppers Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But see, and the reason I remember that is because I remember when I brought that cassette home, I played it in my room, and I remember specifically, and I don't mean this in any way to like be insulting to my dad, who's a great guy and I love him, but he came into my room, and I remember him saying specifically, I don't want you listening to music that is fueled by hate.
Is he a fucking Mormon?
And like, no, I think it was just a thing. Like he didn't
know.
really pay attention to what I was listening to. He didn't know, and it like
they're pretty.
Looking back,
PMA, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like borderline comical that's the band that he chose to take a stand.
I remember when
like,
I bought Soundgarden Super Unknown, and it'd been out for a while, whatever. I bought it at Media Play, and this is before I had a driver's license. My parents were driving me home. I was like, can I put this in? And my dad's like, okay, fine. So he puts it in and gets, what's the first track?
Super Unknown start with Jesus Christ Pose.
No, Super Unknown
That's the one.
started with
Down on the
Let Me Drown.
Let Me Drown.
Oh, great song.
Okay,
yeah,
so
hell yeah.
we get through the first track.
Oh yeah, Super Unknown's got. all
Yeah,
right.
so we get through the first track, and then 5 seconds into whatever the second track is, my dad hits eject, pulls it out, and goes, "No, it's too hard. We're not listening to this."
Dude, My Wave is like
Yeah.
one of the latest
Right?
songs they have.
My
So-
Wave's awesome.
So
That's a good. That's a surfing
he just
song.
pulls it out and just like, nope, too hard. 10 years later, he's driving a Harley and listening to Sabbath. And it's just like, what was he? He was only listening to just like Fleetwood Mac and Billy Joel, I think,
Yeah,
at
man.
that time. So, but it's just funny how that changes when you're just like, you know what? I kind of want to. Yeah, I'm just gonna listen to Sabbath and ride a Harley around now. And then and now he's like, oh, you hear Chris Cornell died? I'm like, you don't even remember that conversation in the minivan, do you?
We should ask him if he remembers it.
Yeah.
We should call him and ask him.
I'm not calling him now. He lives in Napanoch, New York, so there is no service and no internet.
My dad used to
Doesn't even
complain.
sound like a real place.
Yeah.
My dad.
It
used
is a real place. It's named after the Napanoch Indians. They're a very proud race of peoples.
Yeah. We have
Yeah.
a friend of ours who's Napanoch Indian. His
Yeah.
name's Chad.
It's 164th Napanoch Indian. He makes moonshine for us.
Anyway, my father, his favorite phrase was "kill your mother" music. That was his thing.
Oh yeah.
And then when I actually bought "Louder Than Love" and "Hands All Over," and Chris was actually screaming "kill your mother," he was just like, "Is he actually saying kill your mother? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you listening to this?"
He started the genre, man.
One of my favorite moments in
Shouldn't
my
have put that
entire
into
life.
into the zeitgeist.
I was at a pool party when I was 16 or 17, and somebody put on Sublime, the self-titled.
Mhm.
And at the moment when he goes scream 187 on a motherfucking cop,
Oh, classic.
the
yeah.
girl's dad just goes nope, and turns it off and goes, no more music for the rest of the day. And that was that. We weren't allowed to play music for the rest of the day.
That's harsh.
He took the CD and threw it in the garbage. This girl's fucking CD.
This is at a
Wow.
pool party?
It was at a pool party.
Oh.
We were like
In-
16 or 17 years
Awkward
old.
pool party.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
too old to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, her dad was he's probably in his
prick.
late 40s, something like that. But
Priest.
he was like, you could see him like being uncomfortable and annoyed with the music that we
Yeah.
were playing. And
Was
then
he a cop?
I have no idea.
He wasn't even a cop.
I have no idea.
You would know
I don't
who
even
it was.
remember the girl's name at the party that I was at. It was like a friend of my high school girlfriend's. I have no idea. But yeah, he just went like, nope, and just turned it off, took the CD out, and threw it in the garbage. That was that. And then the party kind of dwindled down after that because we weren't allowed to play any music.
What started you on this path of loud, obnoxious music? That's another good one. I want to know. Because like, where did the road split from Hootie and the Blowfish to fucking
Right after
Pantera
Hootie and the Blowfish. I was kind of a late bloomer for heavy music. I really didn't even get into like Metallica and Megadeth until like freshman year of high school. And before that, I mean, I started playing bass when I was like 12, and like in those years I was listening, it was just a lot of classic rock and then a lot of like fusion. Like I got really into Stanley Clarke and Chick Corea and stuff like that. And then yeah, this dude just turned me on to that stuff, and then that was pretty much that. And that, but yeah, I didn't really get into really extreme stuff until like late in college. Like when
what would you consider extreme?
Like Genghis Tron came out 10 years ago today.
Shit.
Board Up the House.
Wow.
I don't know who that is, but that's a great band name.
Poughkeepsie locals, man.
Yeah.
They're loud as hell.
And that was one of the first.
Again, I'm not into loud music.
Yeah.
Francis Dean is like the hardest thing I listen to.
Oh, you're in for a rough ride, buddy.
I've listened to your stuff. I just go like, oh, that's nice.
I wasn't even that heavy. But yeah, when that came out,
Good
I
for
remember
them.
thinking that was badass and getting it more. Also, someone turned me on to, I guess, Heartwork pretty early too, by Carcass. Anything that was like kind of a little left of center.
A band named
and cool.
Carcass. I mean,
There's a band named Anal Cunt. Just go with it.
Both great bands.
Yeah.
Great's a strong word. Yeah. Okay.
It was a band.
Yeah.
But I think that's where I would leave it.
What about you, JB? Where was the fork in the road? When did
I
you
don't
take
know.
the road less traveled?
See, now that you're saying it, it's making me like really like dig deep and think, you know, in sort of like the long term. Like, you know, I grew up, you know, when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I just listened to punk rock and thrash. And truthfully, thinking about it, I have an uncle. I had an uncle at the time, my Uncle Bob, who was super
Uncle
cool.
Bob.
Yeah,
And Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator 2. Yeah. No?
No, I got it.
I can't, like, you said that, and I just can't not think about that.
Anyway.
It's like holding that baby, looking at it weird.
And that reference is like 30 years old. I still make Simpsons references that are older than that, so that's fine. He used to give me, like, around Christmas, he would always give me, like, a stack of cassettes and a stack of VHS tapes that I guess were, like, his. But and they were usually burned, but it was always, like, like, Motley Crue type, like, metal.
Hell yeah.
And he would always, like, I remember when I was probably, I guess we could probably actually figure out the year this came out, but I remember he gave me RoboCop 2.
Nice.
On VHS. I was way too fucking young to be watching that shit. Like, it fucked me up.
That's some gruesome fucking movies.
Yeah, exactly. But so I remember he gave me NWA, Straight Outta Compton.
Nice.
He gave me
Uncle Bob rules.
Yeah. So he would always give me, like, looking back, it's, I don't know, what he was listening to at the time, like what he was thinking when he was giving me things, or he was just a cool uncle, I guess. But
that's what
Do
I
you like slip you hustlers too?
no porn. But definitely it was like, it was
crossing
music.
a line.
Like, he was a musician, he played a lot of music, but he was more like a folk style, like acoustic rock, Bob Dylan influenced guitar player, and I think that's where we bonded as kids because I played guitar at a young age, and you know, or maybe he just knew I liked punk rock, and so he would just be like, "Here, stop listening to Nirvana, and here's some real shit," you know.
Yeah, I was always super fucking snobby too about the metal that I liked.
Hell yeah.
Like, I only liked like progressive. I was the same way. I didn't like screaming vocals until I really got into later Pantera and early Lamb of God. Like when I heard Randy Blythe, I was like, oh, I can actually understand what he's saying. It sounds great, and it makes the music better. Now I get it. And then it was off. And like I hated black metal until we started playing with Black Table. Then I joined Black Table, and I was like, oh, black metal's kind of fun. It's cool.
Oh, it definitely seems fun. But like I'm in the front row at like Womb of Nations, like what is happening right now? I like
I've been to
it's just this like wall of yelling and sound, and it's just it's a
That's
level
what's fun
it's a
about
level of input that I sometimes can't handle. I think.
Well, I talk about this like all the time with my girlfriend and a lot of people where like they'll play me something and it's like fine, but it's like how is this supposed to make me feel? This music is not making me feel anything. It's good, it's competent, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like when you go to a metal show, you know what the fuck is up. Or you don't, and then you know that it's time to leave. But you know,
yeah,
either because the band is too heavy for you, or because they're not heavy enough, or whatever. But like, I hate going to non-metal shows. I don't hate it because I do it all the time, but it's like this is not what I want to spend my money on necessarily.
Yeah,
like
I think
want
the
a
one thing
visceral, brutal experience, not brutal, but insane experience. I want something.
The
really
one thing
crazy
that
to
I take
happen.
about, especially like one thing that I take in particular about your statement just there is like, this is good. It's competent, but I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, well,
You
there's
know
so
what I mean?
many like,
and there are so many bands that I hear. It's like fun. I fucking hate fun.
yeah, of
But
course.
god damn it, they're talented. They just play music that I'm not gonna ever fucking listen to.
Nope.
And like at first it makes you angry because you're just like, can you please like channel that into something that I want to fucking listen to? And then it's not about me. Like they're doing their thing. You got to respect it.
Yeah,
you
for
know.
somebody,
But when a band is bad and they're playing shit that you don't like, that's when you can just really pile on. Like a couple of bands we listened to a couple weeks ago. We won't name names.
Were they on the show?
No. We wouldn't have a band. Okay, so I will have a band on the show who plays music that I don't care for, music that I don't really listen to, as long as I think that they're talented and they do it well.
He's talking about us.
Not necessarily. I mean, like Womb of Nations. We told like I don't really like their
so
music
sick
that
of
much.
hearing that name.
Yeah, Womb of
I'm
Nations.
sick of them too. Fuck that.
I mean,
band.
mostly when I
Yeah. But it's you got to go like, that's your thing. You're doing a really fucking good job. It's just, not really my scene. It's like this, like, I like a couple
even
Adele
more-
songs. It's fine.
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
But Bosch is like, fuck you. I'm not listening to that. But he can't go, she's a bad singer, because she's not. Maybe that's a bad example.
no, that's fine.
That's
Adele's got some songs.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's a truthful statement. She has several dozen songs.
But I mean, when any of my bands put something out, I'd rather somebody like hate it than just feel apathetic towards it because
oh,
there's
for
just,
sure, yeah.
It's just the middle of the road, like bullshit. Is just it's so bad. It's like it's not art. It's just commercial.
Yeah.
It's just made to sell something.
I feel like,
and it's usually not even music. It's like
I feel
fucking Starbucks drinks or something.
Yeah, if you think about like the one that comes to mind is Jack Johnson for me.
Yeah, dude.
So Jack Johnson,
Couldn't
you
agree
have
more.
you have three different opinions. I love him, he's amazing. I don't even care at all about his music, or that is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably pretty even like third split. You know what I mean? And like the people saying that is garbage are people like you. Like there's no
Sure.
passion to it, there's nothing going on with it. It's whatever. Is JB thinking I kinda like Jack Johnson?
I mean, it's got its place. If I was at Margaritaville and they were playing, Meshuggah, I would feel like, all right, maybe this is not appropriate.
Can we please play Paul Simon, Call Me Al, while I'm drinking margaritas?
Yeah. Paul Simon is another one. Paul Simon is not shit without Art Garfunkel. He is exactly what I'm talking about. All of his solo albums are like just milquetoast.
Call Me Al's brilliant, though.
It's fine.
Good song. Good song.
Greatest song ever created. And
I know
also
the guy
great-
who played
also the
bass on
greatest
that.
music
I think
video
that's
ever
cool.
created.
That's been my focus when I'm listening to new bands or even rediscovering old bands. Like I need them to hit me.
Yeah.
I need
Give me
them to
something
like
to hold on
something
to.
like to make the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, and like that happens. It does happen to me when I hear something. I go, like I immediately go, what the fuck is that? A little blood rushes to the tip.
Yeah.
And I was
The funny thing is, there's been no mainstream bands that have really done that for me lately. It's all just been like local stuff.
yeah.
Like
To be honest,
Frankenstein,
yeah.
Babe Patrol. Like those are the
Shadow
Cersei
Witch,
and
Dead
Shadow
Empire.
Witch.
Dead Empires.
Nice.
Unnecessary.
Well, I walked into Dark Side a couple weeks back, and I was just like, "Hey, man, what's new? What's good?" And you rattled off a bunch of bands, and I was like, "Well, their names sound good," but I was afraid to buy anything because I hadn't heard it. So I went and back and I listened to
Yeah,
it.
the internet on your phone.
And yeah, I know, but I like to sit and pay attention.
I know.
I'm not going to listen to the band like I'm holding their CD and I'm.
So you
putting
just
a
go back by
speaker
the
up to
phone
my head.
booth, you pull the headphones out of the record
yeah, that's
player,
right, you
and
guys
just
do that
fucking
thing.
plug it into your phone.
We do have multiple listening
I
stations.
forget about all that.
It's a record shop, you dummy.
We have
And don't you have the thing where you can scan the CD and listen to the fucking shit?
we even now have a Dark Side Records app that you can download for free on your iPhone or Android
do.
devices.
I believe you get a
then-
discount when you do it, right?
Sure do.
No, that was January. Only.
Ah,
It's done.
fuck.
It's done. But you can scan a barcode and it'll bring up the record. You can or whatever it is, and you can preview it direct on your phone.
Right on.
There you
Well,
go.
out of all the bands, I listened to them, and
except for he's like, so I want all these CDs, and JB's like, we don't have any of those because you're a fucking weirdo. So you're gonna need to order them. It's gonna take 6 weeks.
That's a side note.
That's anything I ever actually want to listen to. It's the same shit, man.
Yeah.
When I like a band, it's like, all right, so I'll just wait.
We got 6 copies of the new Adele album. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, though.
I ended up, you gave me, I think it was Crystal Fairy and a couple other ones.
Mutoid Man.
Dead Crosses, I think.
Oh
was
yeah,
the other one.
Mutoid Man's awesome.
Dead Cross.
Mutoid Man was one of them. Like I listened to Dead Cross. I listened to Crystal Fairy. I liked them. They were good, but again, it didn't hit me. Fucking Mutoid Man, holy shit! I like that
you guys,
band. They're
played
fucking good.
played an album at the flea market that day, I think, and I really enjoyed that because
Yeah.
he kept talking about them, like saying that you'd mention them and stuff, but he never listened. And I really enjoyed whatever album it was that you played.
It was the
when we were
newest
there.
one. I don't know the name of it.
Warmones.
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 Nice.
That's fucking great.
They're like goofballs,
Yeah.
man. I watch their
Yeah.
videos
But
and
it's
stuff. They
like-
just screw around,
I
but they
mean,
play some heavy, awesome shit.
Yeah.
But dude, that's to me is almost like what metal is supposed to be. Like it's supposed to be like fun, and there's like a level of goofiness, whether it's tongue in cheek and acknowledged, or whether it's like where you fully commit to a character.
Yeah.
Like that's
like
part of
War and shit like that.
Yeah, that's part of.
Guars, they're all dressed up and stuff, but they're goofing off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
what he's saying.
That's
Oh,
I agreed
I
with
thought-
the
I thought you
statement
were-
War
that
has
he
been
said.
nothing
I
but a
thought you
joke
were.
for
I thought you were
40
going from the
years.
opposite side of the fence.
No,
Yeah,
no,
sorry
no.
about that. But you get
When
bands like.
when he said all of those things, and I said, "Oh, like Guar," how were you confused?
Well, I was thinking, like, I got in my head. You mentioned black metal before. I went to a black metal show at Lemoore in Brooklyn. I think I've talked about it on the show, but who cares? It was like face painted, fucking blowing fire from a candle and shit like that. What was the name of the band?
Who'd you see?
Enthroned. It was
Sounds like it could be a black metal
It was
band.
like like Blood Throne, Enthroned, Throne of Blood.
Dark Throne.
You can't have max 2 throne bands per show.
Yeah, and
max.
all of their you couldn't read any of their
Nah, none
any
of
of their
them.
fonts
All
at
just look
all.
like a
So you're
shattered
just like,
windshield.
well, who's going first? It's written right there, dude. But I can't fucking read it because it's all made out of fucking horns and knives and pointy things, and I just don't know.
It's tree branches, man. It just looks like a bush.
At least we could read your graphic. At least you can read it.
There-
Shadow Witch 2, you can read it.
There was
But
these
there are some of them where it's just like gnarly fucking letters.
like knitting is metal.
knitting is metal. But that's a tongue-in-cheek thing. That's supposed to be funny.
Well,
It's- yeah.
what I was with the black
Yeah.
metal show, these guys were up and they were like, like the face painted and they're like the guy's screaming, his tongue's like flicking around while he's screaming and everything like that. And then this one band in the middle of it all gets on stage. They don't have any makeup. Like, the band before them, the girl was in like this red velvet dress and she was all painted up and she was very stoic. And there was a fucking fog machine. Who brings a fog machine to a club show?
Lots of people.
If we had one.
I mean,
It's just like, actually, we have a Kickstarter to get a fog machine right now.
Yeah, guys, we're still $60 short of our $60 fog machine goal.
Every time they would announce a song, they do it in the black metal voice.
I love when bands do that.
This band gets up, the guy's just like, "What's up, fuckers?" And then they just,
So, dudes, let's do this, huh?
yeah. He's like, "Oh, Jesus," and he burps in the microphone. He's like talking shit to some of the people in the front row, and they go back into it. I'm like, "See, I like these guys
Yeah,
because they're just
that's
not
great.
they're
You
taking it-
can't take it too seriously. I saw a really great. It was like a screen cap or something on the Chive, and it was a poster of like some like death metal show, and all the bands had their like logos that were like the pointy like the Knitting is Metal logo, and then one of them was called like Death Fuck or something like that. It was like a really aggressive name, and it was spelled out in like balloon animals. And it was all different colors.
Well, that's like,
and that was the only one that stood out. That's perfect. You should be doing that. That's great.
my favorite band that I've ever played shows with is called Steak Sauce Mustache, and they're from Northern California, and they are that incarnate, like a death metal band with a balloon
That's
animal
fucking
logo. They run around, they strip down on stage. They have like balloons and streamers and all kinds of goofy shit. But it sounds like Dillinger Escape Plan.
Oh God.
So
Somebody said, an older gentleman said that Dillinger Escape Plan sounds like a carnival from hell. That was his quote.
yeah, all right, cool.
I'm like, it's like a carnival. He goes, yeah, from hell. So there's Dillinger. What'd you get? Oh, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I got
What?
distracted.
Oh yeah, sorry.
He's writing down bands to listen to.
Did you want to call Perkus?
Perkus?
Perker?
We
call
can.
Jason.
Do you want to give him a ring a ding-a-ling?
We also we've glossed completely over another member of this band.
Oh yeah, the drummer.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Philippe, our drummer. He's
like
also
the actor?
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
We've got a problem here.
What?
My phone is too much in the future.
Okay, so he's
Son
got.
of a bitch.
Do you have my number?
Yeah.
Hey,
So you send his number.
hey, Jason, I know you're listening. We're going to call you from a different
give out
number.
Ryan's phone number on the air, and then he can call him.
Okay, you ready?
845.
Here you go. This is the number to call.
Okay.
Area code.
Wait, I'm gonna call him.
Someone's got to call him.
I'm trying to.
You know we're on like a 45-second delay on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So you just gotta wait to catch up.
Jason, you're picking up the phone right now.
No.
That's
We
the
are on
opposite of a
It's
delay.
the opposite. That would be if we were
Yeah,
broadcasting
from
into
the
the future.
Look.
read the description of the in the Facebook post. That gives you everything that you possibly need. All right.
I'll do
You're
no
calling
such
him?
thing.
Perker, pick up. Perker, pick up. Oh wait.
That
Jason,
Hi, Jason.
Perker?
Perker. All right, we have Perker. All right, good. Jason, have you been watching us on the YouTubes?
I have, but it's fine on you guys.
All right, good. So you know what question I'm about to ask you, right?
Go ahead. Refresh my memory. What's happening?
What is in DJ's beard?
What is it? I think it's a steak sauce mustache.
Hey, call
Yeah.
back.
So one serious question is, what's the first album you ever bought?
First album I ever bought? Let's go back. Wow, I guess the first album I ever bought was probably, it's probably like Weird Al. Like Weird Al.
Oh,
That's
Yes.
a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the Weird Al.
Yeah.
Album I think I remember having owning on tape.
That's
My
I listened to that all the time.
my first CD was the Batman Forever soundtrack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Is that is Kiss from a Rose?
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
and hold me,
I love that song.
hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me by U2.
I fucking hate you too, but that's a
Yeah.
good song.
So Weird Al.
I did love that soundtrack at that point.
Yeah, I think everybody had. That
Yeah.
was like one of those soundtracks. That was like the big soundtrack that they like went after people with. You know, I think like the marketing
Yeah.
juggernaut, like that Godzilla type marketing, and that's where.
Oh,
they,
the Godzilla soundtrack was another one. That had
Yeah.
that P. Diddy cover of Kashmir.
The
Yeah.
2000s
Yeah.
Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Yes, and it had. God damn it, I'm blanking
It
now.
had Rage Against the Machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it also had
Heroes by the Wallflowers.
Yeah, it had that and
Yeah.
Deeper Underground by Jamiroquai.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot about Jamiroquai.
Hal.
So Jason, you're you've been watching, so we went through the whole I guess the evolution of Dead Empires adding their singer and everything like that, adding you. Talk about why you feel it's necessary to scream and yell at your listeners.
The scream there? I mean, like, I'm just trying to just, like, just yell at people. I like yelling at people. It's a good time. Shaking, grabbing them, shaking them and stuff. No, in all seriousness, though, like, I mean, I guess, like, I don't know, as far as like, getting into heavy music and stuff like that, like, I know you guys were talking about that, like, where did, like, the heavy roots or whatever. And I guess, like, when I first time I heard, like, Guns N' Roses when I was a kid. When I was
Dude.
A kid, I guess, like, around, like, 11 or 12, I heard Guns N' Roses. And I heard him say the word fuck. And, like, that badass to me as, like, a kid. Because, like, I wasn't allowed to swear growing up. And then, like, I'm listening to this music, and the dudes would say, fuck you! And I'm just like, dude, this is amazing. like that attitude, just in general, just like that cathartic, just like getting shit off your chest, just yelling it out, like it's really like related to me. I didn't relate to that, so I don't know. I just kind of been doing it ever since. And then like when I was in middle school, I guess like 8th grade, like around 14, 13, I heard Pantera for the first time, and I heard Phil Anselmo scream. I never heard anything like that before in my life. I heard heavy music, I heard Slayer, and I heard like Metallica and like some other heavy bands and stuff. But like when I heard Phil like scream, I was just blown away. I couldn't believe someone could do that with their voice. Like it was just like so mind blowing to me. It was like something I was like, man, I want to try to emulate this. I want to try to sound like this.
Sounds like Pantera seems to be a big influence to a lot of
most metal bands. I would have to say,
They were
if
a
I want to
huge
make
band,
a
man.
blanket statement. He had a different way of, because the black metal's more of like a high pitched kind of scream. I mean, I don't know. You hear a lot of different styles.
The
the
screaming
nuances,
at
but
people.
Phil was kind of more like
Yeah.
Phil was just like aggressively grunting.
So guttural. Dude.
And like Helmet was the band that I went, oh, I should start listening to heavier shit because I like that kind of like that. And I'm talking
like
strap.
Helmet.
I'm talking Strap It On Helmet,
Dude.
the Helmet that you don't know. Their first album.
So the
where,
stuff I probably wouldn't like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You wouldn't like it at all. Like Sinatra and FBLA and God, man, I'm blanking on a couple of the other songs on that album. But I was like, man, he's just fucking getting in. And then then you start getting into Pantera and everything like that, and you're like, all right, there's a different. It's not just yelling is just a term, but then there's all the different nuances to what's going on.
Sure.
At the same time.
Yeah, no, totally. There's definitely like a style to it and stuff. And yeah, there's definitely like you said, there's a lot of nuance that goes into it. I think a lot of people who don't listen to heavy music or aren't into like heavy screaming vocals, like just don't understand. Like when they hear screaming vocals, they're just like, oh, the dude's like screaming, but like they can't appreciate like how much like technique and like and skill it takes to do some of that shit.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
I try to sing along to some of that shit in my car, just at full volume,
Yeah, and then you
it
get
fucking
home,
hurts, man.
You're
It's
just
tough.
fucking hoarse. That's another like. I leave some of these shows and I'm just like, how the fuck is that person like gonna go to work tomorrow and talk to people?
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
totally. And then think about like bands that are on the road doing like 30, 40 shows, like in in 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and like doing that every night, like screaming every night. It's crazy. And people have the talent. It's all technique, man. Like people who are able to do that over and over again for years on end, like it's technique. It's not just screaming.
A friend of mine, when I was going to the Institute of Audio Research down in New York City, one of the kids I was going to school with, he was just like, dude, I'm taking vocal lessons from some female vocal teacher. I don't know. And he was just like, I was like, oh, great. What do what's it? He goes, no, it's just for like growling and screaming. I'm like, what? He goes, I basically sit there and just go, ooh, rah, ooh. You know what? I couldn't tell you the name.
I just think it's so funny that somebody made a career out of that. That makes me really
Really?
happy.
He's like,
Man,
dude,
that's
it
awesome.
was an hour of him just like figuring out where in his vocal range he's not like ripping up his
it's like
throat.
It's like any other skill that you learn and you hone and you go in with like a raw
Well, it's not
talent
like
or something.
any other skill.
It is, dude. You got to practice it.
I think that there has to be a certain amount of like you're born with that. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if I tried to do it, my voice would be fucked in 2 days.
All right, we're all gonna chip in. We're gonna get Adam fucking metal singing lessons.
That would be a fun YouTube video.
Absolutely. Let's write a metal song.
But what I'm trying to say, maybe it came off as insulting, but I didn't mean to be. I'm saying like you got to have like that base talent before you can even pursue that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just think in general, just like musicians in general, I think if you're driven to make music, I think like there's usually some kind of innate talent, like that you have. Like maybe it just like comes from some kind of background. Maybe your parents were musical or something like that. But yeah, I agree with that for sure. But then it's also about like honing that like innate talent and then practicing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure there's a ton of work involved. Yeah. But just like you have to have like that. Because I know if I did that for like 5 fucking minutes, I wouldn't be able to talk for 3 goddamn days.
Well, yeah, but if you
Yeah.
played guitar for the first time for 5 minutes, your fingers would be shredded.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I did, and then I said I'm never doing this, and I stopped playing guitar for the rest of my life.
Pussy.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it is just like I didn't have a passion for it, and I knew I would never be able to put the drive into it. So it's just I'll just listen to the music that you guys make. You're doing great. You guys are doing great.
We need you.
Yeah.
This is Discord all over again. That's all I'm saying. There's a recurring theme here.
Well,
we gotta tackle. We gotta go deep on this.
But there are other things that I obsess about. You know, other things that people are like, I'm not fucking doing that. You know, so.
Japanese squid porn.
We watched that on the show.
We did. Yeah, my girlfriend didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
And then Ryan enlightened her.
Didn't know it existed.
She was like, "Wait, what's porn with tentacles? What is that?"
And then I was like, "Well, which kind do you want to watch? Do you want to watch live action or do you want to watch hentai? Because
it's like two totally different genres." She's like, "I didn't know what."
Did you have to? Was it vocal lessons or practicing, or did that kind of sound just come out and then you just had to hone it from there?
I had when I was a young kid, I had like a stage. I was in theater. My mom was like a theater director when I was young.
Theater.
And a lot of times, a lot of times if we had any kind of roles that called for children or whatever like that, she'd usually cast me in something. And then I learned singing from her and from doing that on stage. I learned how to kind of project my voice to do because on stage there's no microphones when you're doing it on local theater stuff, so you really have to project to get it out. So my mom kind of taught me the basics of singing and stuff like that. And then once I heard like I said before, once I heard Selma, that was just man, that's the kind of sound I want to go for. And then it was just hours and hours of just practicing in my room, and or just once I got a car, I got my license, driving around in my car and just screaming along to my favorite songs, and then of course listening to other vocalists like Mike Patton or Kim Williams from VOD was a big inspiration for me, and just certain just listening to that, trying to emulate those sounds the best I could. And then, once you do that, once you hone that kind of skill, then over the years you kind of just develop your own style, kind of just using from everything that you've learned.
I do my best singing in the car. I love singing in the car. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Dude, I tried to sing along.
I love it too. Yeah, it's so good.
To Junkhead by Alice in Chains one time.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I almost passed out in the car. Because there's those longs.
You guys should
It's
definitely.
fuck, this shit's hard.
You guys should definitely hear Ryan singing sometime. He's very talented.
All right.
I am.
So yeah, you want to hear something real quick?
Logistics on the air, figuring out what to do with the show.
That's good.
That's Ryan singing. It's really good.
I do a falsetto. Sorry, Jason, you couldn't hear it. But I have a really solid falsetto.
It's because Ryan's headphones are turned up so fucking loud.
I listen to a lot of Queens of the Stone Age, so that's where I got that from.
Who are you, girl?
Yes, perfect. Yeah, it's weird because I like I said, I like listening to Helmet, Quicksand, and then I'll listen to Queens of the Stone Age or Royal Blood. When I first listened to them, I don't know if you guys know about them. They're just a harder
two-piece. They're cool.
rock band. And when I heard him hit this falsetto part in one of their songs, I was like, "Oh, I do declare." So, ow. So yeah, man. Where are we here?
We should probably take a break.
Yeah, we're at an hour, and I gotta pee.
I gotta pee so bad.
All right, so
I'm
we're
playing
gonna
it cool, but
we're gonna go run up my water bill.
Perker. Can you do a quick plug for us? Because we're gonna let you go over the break. So can you say hi? I'm Perker, and you're listening to the Dead Radio podcast.
Yeah, sure. Go now.
Yeah.
What's up? I'm Parker. You're listening to what is it called?
Perfect.
That's good. No, that's good.
Brennan.
Keep it.
How about try it one more time with the name of your band and the name of this podcast?
There we go.
It's the Dead Radio podcast.
Dead Radio
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Parker from Dead Empires, and you're listening to Dead Radio Pop.
Oh, I didn't cut out.
This wasn't
Did
meant
you
to be,
hang up
man.
on him?
No.
It wasn't meant to be.
I was gonna hit it.
That's fine.
I was gonna hit
All
it.
right.
I was gonna go into the form.
So we're all gonna go outside and pee and hold hands at the same time.
Oh,
and we'll be
cool.
back in 5 minutes.
This song's like 7. You got mad time.
In
You
the
take-
yeah,
He's still there.
Okay.
In the meantime, check out this is the form off of Design to Disappear, out February 23rd, 2018, from Dead Empires. Yeah, I suggest turning it up for this.
Yeah.
Some of
Please.
our
Always.
less cool listeners might have to turn it down. So enjoy. We'll be right back.
Later, Jason.
This is Logan Callahan. You can check out my music at logancallahan.bandcamp.com. You were listening to Dead Radio Podcast, the #1 podcast in Poughkeepsie, because fuck Darkside.
I couldn't agree more.
Logan Callahan is dead to me.
He was not coached at all. The laughter, our reaction to that was 100% genuine.
I'm coming for you, buddy.
Yeah,
That's it.
That was the first time he came on the show. We met him at the outdoor flea market that you guys had that we did.
I like that by that statement, he assumes that our podcast is us trying to do anything.
Oh, we all know that you're not.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Oh,
sometimes I go like I'm scrolling through like my podcasts and it's just like Dark Side Records 4 months ago. I'm like, what? Come on.
No. To be fair, that's Dork Side. Dark Side, we actually stay monthly.
Do you?
It's just the Dork Side one is fucking garbage. We fucking totally own up that we suck at it.
Well, it's also funny.
I would love to hear more of it.
Pin
I'll do a Dork Side podcast with you.
What are you nerdy about? God damn it, we're talking about my other podcasts.
Yeah, man, I've never been invited to talk about Magic or Dragon Ball Z,
yeah,
and now I'm offended. I didn't even know it existed until today.
We can do
3 episodes.
We could do Infinity War. I'm gonna see that the day it comes out.
You want to talk about if you want to talk about vampires and werewolves? That's your guy right there.
For sure.
Nope.
That's your guy.
Nope.
You want to talk about Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons now? You can talk to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Marvel movies and then, like the comic books back in the day. So it'd be fun. But let's do an Infinity War one.
Hard pass. That's what that sounds like.
He's trying to weasel his way on our podcast now.
No. Come on our podcast. You could do Dorkside podcast from Dead Radio Podcast.
No one's gonna remember that title.
Too many
hashtag
casts.
podcast.
Yeah.
Done.
I mean I've said for years we want to come on Darkside's podcast.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
No,
Yeah,
that wouldn't make sense.
You said that last time you were here 2 years ago.
Look, you're confusing. You're confusing.
Fake on-air enthusiasm with genuine,
No.
real invites.
You are confusing.
Like DJ
Yeah,
knows how it works.
that's exactly what it is.
It's like ideas and follow through. That's the thing. Like totally. But then we just never schedule.
If you set it up and it fits my schedule, we'll do that.
We usually pick our recording dates. Maybe 2 days in advance.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, we should podcast tomorrow. Cool. All right, good.
Yeah, we
should find a guest. Oh,
we're
shit.
booked out to April, like the second week in April right now.
I'm booked out to April.
No, but I'm saying like that's the difference. Well, I mean, if we had listeners to go along with the amount of people that want to come on the show, then we'd be in really good shape. And not for nothing, we booked with you 6 weeks ago, and you're like, yeah, so we're probably not coming.
I don't think that's how that went down.
You wanna do this? We'll do this.
I was available at 6 o'clock.
We look. I was told yesterday that we needed to meet at 6:15 when there was, we had booked it 6 months in advance. I got no text, no follow up, nothing to say what time to show up, where to go, what time.
You were told 6 months ago, and then you were told yesterday too.
Yeah,
and if you followed the show, you'd know what time we started.
That's
a
fair. Really good point.
Yeah, that one's fair. Yeah,
I win.
Okay.
And you're not going to be able to
win one.
find it because
One
we
for me.
did I think we did this in person.
So it's all hearsay. So
I think
it's
we
all-
originally
both
set it up in
sides-
person.
Both sides are stricken from the record, though.
If you're interested in not hearing any of this kind of stuff, you can go to deadempires.com.
Yeah, please. Pre-order the album. Make this worth it.
Also, youtube.com/deadempirestv to watch the lyric video for The Form, and I highly suggest it. Do not watch it if you have an issue with seizures. So, like epilepsy warning on that one.
Also, don't come see us live if you have a problem with seizures. I think that's also a fair bet.
You guys have like lighting setups?
A lot of lights.
Yeah, but most people.
You guys actually bring your own like lights and shit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
But I mean, the one dude I know that has epilepsy, he complained about it, but it wasn't.
I mean, he complained about it, but he was being a total pussy.
He's just 1 out of 100, so fuck him.
We were already en route to the hospital.
Yeah, it's fine. But I mean, if you have epilepsy, you should be taking your medicine.
or staying home so the rest of us don't get our
smoking a
time.
bunch of weed and being on a ketogenic diet, because apparently that's the thing that helps.
Oh boy,
interesting.
Yeah. Ketogenic diet was developed for epileptic disorders. Yeah, just saying.
Okay.
And I've lost 20 pounds. So
yeah, it's a good way to lose weight.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Who the hell invested in lighting?
The band did.
We did.
You just wow.
You save up money from shows and spend it on other things for shows.
I guess that's it. Like, look, we have a giant
We
fucking
built
banner behind you.
Yeah, I mean, we built our own.
We got that. We got that banner because of our pure talent, and our good friend Chris appreciates it and donated that banner to the show. Chris at Prime Print Shop is an amazing human being, and he no longer pays for coffee at the coffee shop because he's awesome.
That's all we got to do is come show up with a banner, like a free coffee.
You get
All
free
right.
coffee. Show up with a banner,
Well,
banner. Or
I mean,
a
like
dildo.
we pay for it, but yeah.
So,
Oh, that's fucking brilliant. Well done.
Good.
but
yeah,
so-
Prime Print Shop also sponsoring Creator Fest.
oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
We're back to plugs. I'll just sit
That
back over
sounds
here.
like- yeah.
Let me know when you're done.
Anyway, so the banner's nice. Check out Prime Print Shop for
What-
all your banner, sticker, and flyer needs.
What made you get lighting? I
Well-
gotta ask that because this is like,
Well, here, do you have a camera that I can show this to? So this is like an example. We probably
yeah.
2 years ago, we actually
We bought. We built
Yeah, you
these
made-
things. Our friend, also Steve, who plays drums in Clover,
There you
who
go.
is actually the epileptic I mentioned earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
he helped
whoa,
us
that's
build
ironic.
these.
It's ironic.
And
shit.
yeah, but I literally just ordered some new lights for this upcoming tour today, so it'll be here tomorrow. They're a little bit more professional, I think, and less than 1,000 pounds to carry, so that would be nice.
Yeah.
But like when you go to a show, you don't just go to listen to the music; you go to see a fucking show. So we, came to that conclusion pretty.
I used to be that guy
organically.
who was against the. Oh my god! I don't know if anybody can see that shit going on right there on YouTube.
You
but
can see
it's-
clips on our Instagram
Yeah.
or YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dead Empires on Instagram also. Check out some clips.
Yeah.
I used to be very against the, Slipknot and the Mushroom Heads and all those bands that painted up and did the whole show.
Oh, dude.
Manson and everything.
Yeah,
That's
now
what
we
you're paying
can't.
for.
Now we can't fucking wait to see Shadow Witch do their
Yeah,
ultraviolet show.
I want to I want to go see them do the Blacklight show. I saw Rammstein at Jones Beach,
Yeah.
and it was just
They're the
fucking
kings.
fire and confetti and costumes and electricity and all kinds of crazy
Dude,
shit.
then when you go and see somebody that doesn't do it, you're completely let down. And it's the same thing. Like if you're used to going to metal shows and someone's not jumping into the crowd and acting like a fucking maniac, you go to some acoustic show, you're like, yeah, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it belongs with certain certain sounds and certain
course.
genres and everything like that. But yeah, definitely metal, and your type, the type of metal you guys play. I think that kind of ambiance that you create with the lighting and everything like that really lends itself to the feel of the music as well. You're just kind of you're just
sure.
amping it up, in my opinion. Like
Exactly.
I was talking about that video, the lyric video is insane to watch. It's like frightening almost. I don't know what the hell shirt was he wearing. I fucking can't remember. It's like religion is like. It's like some shit. I'm gonna fucking. This is gonna piss me off. I don't know. He's wearing some shirt that I was trying to like pick out the whole time, but I'm just getting assaulted the whole time. I'm like, this is good. This is what I want when I hear this kind of music. But yeah, I just think that's kind of cool that you guys bring
Yeah.
your own light show.
We've been slacking recently with the lights, but that's because they're like a little beat up, and we've been waiting to get something new. But now we have some new stuff, and it's gonna be cooler.
Yeah, and I've always like been a big proponent of like creating a good atmosphere. And I, even when we're talking about these lights, like my favorite thing is like even something that separates, like the person from the performance. And I love the idea of like, part of our big onstage thing is big floods behind us with us silhouetted in front of them. And there's something about like that separation, like separating. So,
You're
it's
just
not
looking at our stupid faces while we're like
Yeah,
trying to
it's-
play the
yeah,
songs.
exactly.
Right?
You're almost not real, just shadows.
Yeah. I
flailing
want it
around
to be
on
about
stage.
the music and the performance and everything that's happening, and that's what I want people to be immersed in. And
yeah. Not necessarily about us as individuals, because that doesn't
Right.
matter.
It's like Tool, man. Tool, like fucking Maynard hasn't been front and center for the last like 4 albums or whatever. What 4 albums would be? What
40 years.
Their first album.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years ago. But yeah, you give like a little mystique. You give, I'm just recycling the same old shit. Ryan Felipe. What about him? We haven't talked at all about your
Philippi.
Philippi. We haven't talked at all about your drummer. Who is
probably crying that we waited
wild
this long to
shit
mention
going on.
He's asleep right now.
Yeah, true.
He gets up so early in the morning.
Is that him? Is that his picture?
That's his picture.
Okay.
If you want to put his phone number on the feed, go for it.
Yeah, covered in white face paint with black and blood coming out of his mouth. Seems like a wholesome character.
So he was born September 10th, 1974, Newcastle, Delaware. He's known for movies like Crash, Gosford Park, and especially Cruel Intentions. I mean, he was amazing in that.
Classic.
And
So
he
good.
doesn't even bring it up that often
Yeah.
at rehearsal, so that's cool.
Does he still have that same terrible haircut?
Yeah.
Frosted tips.
Frosted tips.
Yeah, the frosted tips with the curl that might be a perm. Might be
a sore subject.
Yeah.
I might let that one go.
Does he know we're calling?
No.
But I'm
It's
pretty
better- it's better this
excited.
way.
I'm pretty excited for his new shooter series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it season 2?
I think so, but he plays Bob Lee Swagger. Very excited.
Hello, this is Phil. Hi, Phil. How are you? My name is Ryan. I'm with the Dead Radio podcast. I have your bandmates here.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't call us friends. It's another sore subject.
What's going on, man? We're doing this interview, and we had what was this? Perker? We had Perker on before, and we wanted to make sure you got your voice heard too. So.
Is it Perker? I didn't know it was Perker.
It's Perker. You can't no vowels. It's Perker. I mean, you're in the band with the guy. You should know.
I'm into it.
We're just talking about the band, your use of lighting, yelling at people, and everything like that. What I want to know a little bit more about the individual members. I like hearing, I don't. Have you been watching it all on the YouTube?
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't watching.
Okay.
No, because there were only 3 people watching. It was me, you, and
2 of them are in this room. The other one's Jason.
I want to know about your first albums. Like, what's the first album you ever bought? I love this question so much.
The first album I ever bought?
Yeah, the first album you actually said yourself, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get that, I'm going to go home and listen to it 30 times.
Can my bandmates promise not to laugh at me?
No.
Judgment free, buddy. This is judgment free zone in here.
John speaks for himself.
Look, he can't see us. He's not watching the video, so he can't see me.
You could cut their mics, so they'd have to laugh really loud for him to hear.
Well, DJ, I just want DJ just to swear, really, that's all.
Nope. Not going to happen. Sorry.
It was Sum 41's All Killer No Filler.
Oh, what are you talking about? First of all, Philip,
wow,
you know that I like Sum 41. So what?
Polarized response in this room.
Yeah,
wow.
what the fuck, man? That album rules, and the one after it's even better.
That made my butt pucker. I don't like them.
I prepared myself for 41 lashing.
Judgment free, man.
I remember Fat Lip was on the radio, and a friend of ours who's been on the show, Stupid Joe LaFortune, he came up to me in the hallway I think it was high school, and was just like, "Dude, you hear this new Sum 41 song?" I'm like, "Please tell me you don't like this shit." He's like, "No, it's great." I'm like, "It's garbage.
Nah,
it's
dude,
fucking garbage."
Into Deep. That song rips. You should go back and re-listen to those.
Oh, I'm listening to it in my head right now, and I'm pissed the fuck off that you brought up that song.
Or you could just turn on WRV. Did I say that out loud?
Oh, they're still playing it.
Deleted. Delete that comment.
No, we might have.
It'll be back on.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, when I started, like, really getting to, like heavy stuff is, like, when I came home from school and you watch, like, seriously, like, TRL and you watch, like, say, like, System of a Down and, like, Korn and POD and all those bands, so it was just, like, my first taste as, like, just, like, a kid, and then, like, I started, like, just playing along, and then, like, eventually I got my first drum set and just started playing along. And it was funny because Sum 41 actually put out a live DVD that I bought, and they played a song, and they covered Raining Blood for like 30 seconds, like the first riff. So that was like my first introduction to Raining Blood, and I was like, what the fuck is this? and that's actually seriously how I like found out about like them, and like they would talk about like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and then like eventually I found my way to Ozzy. And
They were the gods that they praised.
I want to stop talking about Sum 41. I just want to stop talking about it,
dude.
I'm glazing over. I'm seriously. I'm
why?
more interested in
what is
Ryan
with LA?
Phillippe's.
Did you guys ever listen to the
IMDb
album
right
that came
now.
after that, Chuck?
No.
It's awesome.
No.
Phil, preach.
Let me pull up my dictionary. No, it was All Killer No Filler. That it was Does This Look Infected?
Oh, right.
That's a good name for an album, though.
Yeah,
I will give him that.
Also, All Killer No Filler is a great name for an album.
I think this year is the 10-year anniversary of Does This Look Infected, and they're doing a tour where they're playing it, and they're doing a big vinyl reissue, blah, 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 that shit.
Yeah, good for them, man. Gotta make that money.
Yeah.
All those
I'm
bands.
just glad that it's your job to know that, because otherwise I would judge you.
It's so I don't understand why so virulent against Sum 41 specifically.
Adam,
if it was Newfound Glory, I would understand 100%.
Like,
But Sum
who do you
41
blow
can
up
play.
The thing is, Newfound Glory is a band that I have heard of, but I don't know their music because it wasn't popular enough that I wasn't forced to listen to it. Sum 41 was popular enough that I was forced to listen to it.
You would know the Newfound Glory song.
I
if you
worked
heard
in
it.
retail.
Man.
I listened to WRV because I cassette deck in my fucking Ford Escort was broken. So
This
sounds
sounds
like you problems.
This sounds like projecting.
yeah,
that's what I'm hearing.
This is me being mad at Sum 41 in what 1999, just bubbling up.
Yeah. Now I gotta know. I'm gonna
In Too
dedicate
Deep,
the entire
99 2000.
the entire second half of this show is gonna be dedicated to Sum
yeah,
41.
Ryan
now.
trying
Thank
to Google something quickly.
Phil, are you climbing up a mountain right now?
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Was that a deep cut? Because I don't know.
All killer, no.
It's the chorus to
The only song that everyone knows. Yeah.
Fat Lip.
And special shout out to Crazy Taxi and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for introducing me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony Hawk for sure.
We've
Fucking
talked to a couple
CKY.
Yeah, we've talked to a couple bands in the last it might have been Womb of Nations. I'm sorry, but there were a couple of songs, but I was just like, this reminds me of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and they're like, thank you. Like, you're welcome.
Dude, that was the first time I heard Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire on that.
Oh
What?
fuck, that's right.
That
Ring
was
of-
on there.
Yeah, it was. It was like this
Wow.
weird oddball. They had some oddball tracks.
Dude, they had fucking Ace of Spades.
Write it on the wall of the things we want to do but don't. But we should definitely do a podcast where we just play old PlayStation games.
You know,
We also have this idea.
That
I have
people do
this
that, right?
idea. Let me get your opinion on this. It's called the podcast, right? And
I'm out.
all it is us coming up with ideas for podcasts that we're never going to do.
Oh, that Earwolf did that. It was the Andy Daly podcast pilot project. He made one episode of 12 different podcasts.
All I want to do is talk about podcasts that we're never going to make and come up with ideas of what we do within those podcasts, and then like people can take them and run with them if they want. But it's just like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a podcast that is only about playing video games from 1992 to 1994. And then we have to figure it out.
Isn't there a whole like community of YouTube content creators who that's all they do is just like play
Probably.
vintage
Pretty much,
games
yeah.
and stream
Oh,
it
yeah. Oh,
live?
definitely.
Yeah, that's
SNES drunk,
but that's
dude.
just
That's my shit right there.
No, that's one idea
Yeah.
within the podcast.
It's been done.
So I don't know if it has.
It probably has.
I'm
If
sure.
you
it
want
has.
to try and get super specific, though.
If we're thinking of it in
So
a
what
basement in Poughkeepsie, New York, it probably has.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm actually looking at the set list or the soundtrack listing for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Stop me if any of you bought these albums from these respective bands. Goldfinger, Superman.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I bought that album.
I did not buy that
no for
album,
me,
but I
dog.
remember it on.
Nope.
It was.
That's a no for me.
It's a ska band. Yeah.
I'm familiar with
Oh,
them.
yeah,
just,
we know.
Yeah, just didn't buy it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
The band Refused.
Mhm.
The song's called
Yeah.
New Noise.
Mhm.
I wasn't a fan.
That's off the Shape of Punk to Come.
All
Great
right.
fucking record. You never listened to that? You should listen to that
it's a
record.
classic.
It's fucking great.
Okay. Refused. Got it.
Check.
Check. The Mad Capsule Markets.
They were like part of that whole like bitcore
Oh,
like thing that happened
okay.
in the early 2000s.
Rage Against the Machine, Guerrilla Radio.
Classic.
Fuck yeah, duh.
Classic.
I hated that album when it first came out, and now I love it.
Good.
It's weird. I remember when it first came out, and I was just like, I fucking hate this. And then I sold it to somebody for like $5. And then now I listen to it on Spotify, and I'm like, this is really fucking
This is
good. What the hell's wrong
literally
with
one
me?
of the best albums ever
Yeah.
made.
I just go like, what the fuck was wrong with me? I think I was like 20.
Anthrax
18, 19.
featuring Chuck D. Bring the
Oh, yeah.
Noise.
Definitely classic. That ended up on a lot of burnt CDs I made.
CKY 96 Quite Bitter
Oh,
Beings.
yeah.
The best
Oh,
song on
yeah.
the whole fucking thing.
House of Pain.
Ace of Spades
Jump
was
around.
on one of those too, right?
I'm a
different House of
swing
Pain
it.
song.
I'm a swing it.
Yeah.
I think that's the second album, House of Pain. Nobody.
Sham 69 Borstal Breakout. Hello. You still there? Oh.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I just wait. Also, Bad Religion.
Sounded like he fell off a cliff.
Can't have a
right?
skateboard video game without Bad Religion on it.
Mm-hmm.
And Millencolin.
Mm.
You're not looking at all of them though, right?
No, that was
It's
not
the-
all the
Okay.
soundtracks.
It's
Just the first one.
Yeah.
one.
Because yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Well, because
Just every album ever recorded right now.
well,
Start
'cause,
at the beginning.
There was some Danzig on a bunch of stuff. and-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were.
That was like a great introduction to anybody who for alternative music or hardcore punk rock, and that was kind of cool. And then you play along with your friends and stuff. And you kind of emulate that, and then just kind of snowballs from there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
you
yeah.
just put all the cheat codes and you get 8 billion points for fucking.
I liked what was it, like Road Rash or whatever the hell those the Sega games. They had like Swerve Driver on it.
Oh shit! Yeah, fucking. There was a bunch of. What's that? He
What's
said,
that?
dude.
What were you gonna say?
Even the theme to Power Rangers, like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, that fucking riff is sick.
Yeah. I used to play that all the time.
Was that Buckethead who played that?
That's the rumor, but I don't think it was
That's-
actually Buckethead.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Maybe
yeah,
you guys should do it.
Power,
I
I
would
think I
open
was.
the set
I
with
think I
that.
was like.
Come on.
Have you heard my guitar playing? Come on.
No, I could play guitar on it. That'd be cool.
Okay,
We'll trade instruments.
I have had a thought. So Frank McGinnis's, obviously, but Frank McGinnis did a Dead Radio podcast theme, and
Let's hear it.
All right, hang on. I got it. I got it.
Okay.
Sorry, I jumped the gun there.
We'll just do the short one. So it's very Frank.
That was
McGinnis.
Frank McGinnis?
Yeah, Frank McGinnis.
Play
did it.
the full
Do I have
one,
the
but
full
just
one?
only a little bit of it.
Perfect.
This is
it's
There's
good.
something going on with this fucking thing.
That's all you need.
But there's a there's like a minute long version of that.
Yeah.
And I really want to put that to like the Power Rangers because I think it would fit.
I kind of want
would.
your version of that. I
Done.
want a Dead Radio podcast
gonna be
like
so slow.
Dead
Yeah,
Empires.
it's gonna be 18 minutes
Like-
long.
It's gonna be it's gonna be called the Dead Squared intro.
Yeah, let us play your intro, please.
Do it, absolutely. Yeah,
No, see,
We'll-
they're
we
just
will
trying to get
play it
free
like
shit
every
out of
week.
us.
Yeah, exactly. We'll record it next week, but it won't be out until October.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be February. You'll say it's October, but it's gonna be
Exactly.
February.
So Phil, what? Again, same question. What forked you off into this metal music in general? I guess. What was the band that kind of like twisted it up for you?
I'd say mostly daddy issues.
Well,
very
there's
good.
one
I
part,
mean,
yeah.
like, very common.
One part daddy issues, one part a love for Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Mixed so smooth.
Okay, so why the fuck aren't you here? Because you're a pretty funny guy, and you would have really lended to this conversation.
I apologize. This is my first townhouse with my girlfriend, so we've been like doing all that stuff today. I just came back from it, but you guys are killing it. I'm sure this is going to make a lot of awards. And,
I'm sure this is going to make a lot of awards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to be up for a Casty.
Yeah. Casty. Nice. All right, man. Well,
but anyway, yeah, I mean, like, it really started with like being with friends and just kind of like getting like my first drum set, and just kind of like just getting it all like the garbage out, and like, you know, like my first drum set was like set up wrong. I didn't have a bass drum pedal. It was just kind of like just getting to play, and then eventually, like I got like my first real drum set, and like I was just like playing along anything. Like it started out with like Slayer to get my double bass down. You know, it would be like Motorhead and like some 41 Blink-182 to get like my tempo and speed, but it took a long time to really be comfortable to play with like what I do with Dead Empire, especially like with recording, like writing. Like we really like take our time to make sure that everything is right. And like it was like a long period, like because I've been playing like out like at clubs since I've been in like 7th grade, and I'm like
weird.
27
Weird.
now, you know. So
You're 27.
You're 27.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun fact: Philip and I are 11 years apart.
you're 38.
Yep.
Jesus.
I'm old man.
I wouldn't
old
put
man
you, I
empires.
wouldn't put you a day over 35.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are gonna get. You guys are gonna get a massive.
You got
deal
great
in there.
hair, though. I mean, that you're gonna be fucking.
Thanks,
you're gonna
boo-boo.
be killing it into your 80s. if you have not lost your hair by now, you're set.
What's the well? Since I got you know, all the not the lyricists, but the music guys, kind of in the same room right now. What's the What's your process of writing?
Oh God, is
it just
So okay, well, so prior to like right now,
Mhm.
because you know, going forward, especially with Jason, truthfully, I don't even know like what the fuck we're gonna have to like re-figure it out from the ground up.
Yeah.
But
Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
We jam a lot, and I travel a lot, so I'm not around all the time. And usually, what ends up happening is these two will write a bunch of shit without me, and then I come back and throw a hissy fit about how bad it is. And then, like, you just played that song Tyrantosaur, and I was just remembering how I came back from a trip for work, and they played me the riff that's like, doo-doo, 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 doo-doo. And I was like, no, absolutely not. We had like a screaming match about it. I was not about to put that on a record, but eventually we worked it out. And that song rocks now. But yeah, I mean, all the songs come in different ways. Sometimes we just like shit something out, and it's like not a lot of thought, but it's like just good. And other times we like, it really takes a long ass fucking time to put it together. And it's just like, you know, we get a little piece here, we fuck around, and we get a little piece over there, and then you go, oh, you remember this album? This fucking riff you wrote last week, maybe it'll sound good with this riff. And we record everything, so it makes it a little bit easier.
We record every practice. We have every practice recorded since we started.
Holy shit! That's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's exhausting to think about.
Well, when you guys all die in a plane crash or something, we got stuff
Yeah,
to
we can
release.
just- we can
Keep
cut it
releasing.
together.
You guys are like
Sure.
you guys are the Tupac of prog metal.
You do not want. Yeah, those,
I'm gonna make you write that down.
So so I guess you're the primary riff
I
writer,
think
or
that'd
like
be 7/8 Pac, by the way.
oh, well done. And dude, Tupac died when he was like 24, right?
and he's still
25?
writing. He's still writing stuff.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I think it's even to say I'm the main riff writer is a strange label, because so much of it he's right. Like so much of it is like we improv and we do things and then we kind of hone them down. It's never like, or it's rare to be a thing where, you know, I'll show up and say like, here's a song, or one of us shows up and says, you know, this is a thing, play it. You know, that's not really how like we operate when we're in the writing process. Ours is much more like
Super egalitarian. It's just everybody has their input, and you know we deal with it.
That's a $5 word.
Yeah. How do you spell that?
EGALITAR.
Everybody
F-U-C-K.
falls for it.
Egalitarian.
All right, so it's more organic than like actually constructing, like full construction. Nah,
Yeah.
I dig that.
And everything. I mean, everything's so riffy and open. Like it's not so bad. Like some bands you can't do that with. Like it just doesn't work. Like my Black Table, we could not do that. It would never. It would take us a decade to write a fucking album that way. So like, some people just have to show up with something. This is the song, and then the rest of us have to deal with it.
It sounds like the 2 out of the 3 of you get along really well when it comes to making music. Then you come in,
Yeah.
stomping and
It's pretty
And you're
much
like,
it.
You guys are a bunch of fucktards. You're not fucking doing this.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. I guess where are we here? Yeah,
We're probably gonna let you go because your audio is terrible.
it's not that bad.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. We need to upgrade everything. So patreon.com / Dead Radio Podcast. Give us even $1 a month. Even $1 a month can
What?
can help this. I don't know. What the fuck was it called?
What?
The thing where the phone is plumbed into it?
A mix minus.
Mix
Yeah,
minus.
a mix minus
That's what
for
we
phone
need.
calls and everything like that.
So that you can hear when we play sounders like this.
Oh, Daddy, this tastes like Grandma.
Yeah, you see, you can't hear it.
Nope.
You can't hear it.
Talks right
Talk
over it.
Yep. No idea.
All right, Phil. Thanks for taking my phone call. Taking a phone call from a stranger. I really like the photo that JB's got of you in his phone. It's just you covered in blood
No,
and face paint.
I gotta see that one.
You know
You're
what?
looking
No,
awful lot
I'm
like
sorry.
Alice Cooper.
That was a different person. That was his grandmother. I'm sorry. Never mind. All right, we're gonna go.
And also, I really love you in Cruel Intentions. Goodbye.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow, Phil.
Jeez, he hung up on me.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a son of a
Ooh.
bitch.
That's easy.
Sorry about that.
Shut you down.
Yeah, guys. I think, you guys came very late. My wife has to work tomorrow, so I'm going to do this.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
That means we're going to leave in the next 17 minutes.
I have 17 minutes of outro that we can talk
What?
over.
What?
Yeah. We've gone over it sometimes.
Cool. Good show, you guys. We're gonna roll
Later. It's
been
Well,
real.
see you
See
guys
ya.
later.
All right. So this is the time when we wrap up the show.
Kinda.
Mm.
I just want to thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for
You
having us.
guys got shows coming up? I was supposed to look that up. I would have
Yeah.
been a better.
I got you. I got
Thursday, we are playing in Florence, Massachusetts at 13th Floor Music Lounge. Friday, we were playing in New Paltz at Nacho House.
Where's Nacho House?
It's not.
Okay,
It's not
yeah.
Joe House.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
So,
Yeah. So I just want to let you guys know that that's all very super confusing.
It's
Because I clicked on the link
it's a house show,
and
so you got to know somebody to get in.
Oh.
So that's all fine, but it's super confusing.
What's
because
confusing about
I
that?
was because if you click to copy the location and then you put it in Google Maps, it takes you to California.
Well, duh.
Yeah,
that's
that's
where all
where
the
we're
nachos
going.
houses
Yeah,
are.
what's the problem?
That's fine. If you guys are playing in California tomorrow, that makes sense. But you're
It's
not.
Friday. We have plenty of time.
Yeah.
So all right. So
yeah.
let's.
So
go
how about
back.
you let people know how to actually go see you?
If you look at the address listing, it actually says Nacho
Facebook
House.
events.
Ask a punk.
Yeah.
I have.
No, that's what it says for Shot Tower.
I actually have
Same
it.
thing. We have another DIY show on Saturday in Walk Hill at Shot Tower. And yeah, ask your local punk where it is because I don't know.
I got.
I couldn't even tell you if I wanted to.
I got a proper one here, proper plug here. So we got Thursday, 22nd, February 22nd, Dead Empires, Graviton, and Problem with Dragons, 13th Floor Music Lounge, Florence, Massachusetts. That is the release party.
The whole
show?
weekend's a release party.
All right.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, February 23rd,
Got this.
Dead
You got
Empires,
this.
multiple bird strikes, and it's not night, it's space.
And
who
Top
I've-
Nachos.
And Top
We've
Nachos.
heard so much about that band.
Yeah, it's not night, it's space. I've
Yeah,
heard a couple of
we've
their
played
tracks.
about a
They're pretty wild.
Bazillion shows with
Yeah.
them. They're like our homies.
From Doug Beans.
Doug Beans.
Dougie Beans?
Yeah.
Oh, you know Doug Beans?
Yeah.
I know Doug
Yeah,
Beans.
he's
I know
coming
Doug-
on-
I know
he's
Dougie
coming on
Beans.
in 3 weeks.
Oh my God, you're playing with them again
Yeah, the
on
next
Saturday.
night. Yeah.
He's constantly like, "You want to check out a good band? It's not. It's Space.
Yeah,
They're a good band.
They're a great band.
Very good band.
Yeah.
Also, March 10th, Dead Empires and Pharaoh Lux at
Also-
BSP Lounge in Kingston, which I really want to check out. Have you
Also-
guys played BSP
Fuck
before?
yeah, it's like a block from my house. Yeah, play there all the time. It's
Cool
great.
venue?
It's
Great.
the best. Yeah.
Also, March 10th is my brother Matthew's birthday,
bring him up.
and
Yeah.
it's the anniversary of
Oh.
Citizen Dick playing with Sweetwater and Mang.
All right.
Any, any singles?
Wow.
Fans?
No, I'm with it. I got it. I did not think that's where we were going with our reference here.
And the day before we start our tour with
Yeah, Rock Candy.
Did you get the
Pharaoh
Citizen
Lux.
Dick?
We're doing 2
Yes,
weeks with
I
those
did.
guys down to Florida.
Oh, you're doing 2 weeks in Florida with Pharaoh Lux.
We're starting the 9th in Jersey, then we're coming back to BSP, and then we're heading down to Florida with them, and coming back by ourselves.
Right on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Hitting the pavement.
Indeed.
Yeah, need
That's what
to.
you got to do nowadays. Anyway. Check out, oh Christ, I don't know how to do
Oh
that.
Christ!
Oh Christ.
This is
Dead
where-
Empires.
This is where it
Anarchy.
falls apart.
Anarchy.
This is way past Bosch's bedtime.
Check
Okay.
their check out Dead Empire's new album, Designed to Disappear. That's off of Silent Pendulum Records. That's out on officially February 23rd. Check them out at deadempires.com, deadempires.bandcamp.com, facebook.com/deadempires, youtube.com/deadempirestv. And then JB's got more.
One last thing I want to throw in for you,
Adam.
Mr. Patane.
Pontané.
Montagna. So on Thursday, the whole album is going to be premiered live on Decibel. But truthfully, for you, who is not a fan of screaming or anything else, the last track on the record is the title track. And it's a 12-minute super jammer that is not metal.
It's no screaming.
I'm gonna listen to it.
How did you-
And I think this is the track for you, man.
DJ, how'd you
Alright.
feel about that song?
Oh, I loved it. I would have made
Yeah.
it 24 minutes if it was up to me.
Really?
Yeah. I love long songs. That's my shit. Which is funny because I have a horrible musical ADD like in the van and stuff. But if it's
I'm that
my
way.
song, I
Yeah,
think
when you're
everybody needs to
playing
hear it as long as fucking possible. Like, yeah, we can hear that riff about 12 more times. Let's
I'm
do
the,
this.
I'm the
I've
same way.
developed-
I gotta
I-
play a song, play a couple songs, and I gotta switch albums and play another one.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta hear.
So-
have you heard this band? You gotta play this band, and then it's just like
Yeah. And
It's
I just
so-
never find exactly what I want in the moment, usually. It's very tough to like match your mood with your music.
So I'm a big fan of records, and I've talked about it a lot on the show, where I just like it's all about the experience, and it's like in the order that's supposed to be, and you have to pay attention so you can flip the record and shit like that. So I just finally got my stereo back from Bosch, which I haven't looked at in years, but it's because it has like 2 cassette decks and 3-disc changer, and now like I put on CDs, and I get halfway through the first track, and I'm like, I made a mistake. This is not what I wanted to listen to, and then I change it, and it's like this whole thing where I was just like, I've just committed 35 minutes of my life to this. Like I needed to make the right decision. I'm like cooking dinner, and I'm just like, I didn't make the right decision. This is not the album that I wanted to listen to.
Oh, dude,
You are overthinking
Plus,
this
it's
thing.
very
man.
stressful.
I
It's
stream-
very
No,
stressful.
No, it's not.
I
supposed to
stream
be.
everything. I don't fuck around with albums or CDs.
Yeah,
and I
because
have, like,
because you
option
just go like, I have
paralysis.
this master mix. Everything's happening, and I have no control over it. And then when I give myself the control back, I was like, I fucked it up. I totally fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, you gotta meditate more.
Fuck that shit.
Gotta slow
Yeah,
it down.
I feel like 3 discs
Ground
is not
yourselves.
enough. I need to get the 64 disc changer that you guys have on the shelf over there. It's just
$40.
like-
Just take that shit out of here.
Exactly. I was gonna say
Fucking
they'll probably
take
pay
it.
you to
every
get rid of
every
it.
goddamn CD you've ever bought in your entire life.
I got a 300 disc changer with your name on it, buddy.
300 discs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
me and my dad had a
fucking
300
Christ.
DVD changer at one point. That was like the baller
What the
shit.
fuck?
Could you do the? Could you
Why
hit
would you ever
random
need
and
that?
just do random
Yeah.
chapters of random
Yeah.
DVDs?
No, that's way too much.
because that would be insane.
That would take forever.
Yeah, you load in like Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, and just load in a bunch of
Hentai.
Terminator,
Yeah.
hentai.
Hentai.
So that's like your
Ninja
unemployed
Scroll.
mix.
Russian
Like when
roulette.
you
Fuck yeah,
finally
Ninja Scroll.
when you just lose your job and you're just like, I'm just take unemployment for 6 months. You just put the DVD changer on random.
So, real quick for anybody who's looking for the vinyl record, of Designed to Disappear. You got to go to
all records
silentpendulumrecords.bandcamp.com.
Yeah.
And you have the limited edition Golden Black Haze vinyl for pre-record.
For pre-record.
For pre-order.
Pre-release.
Yeah,
Fuck.
order, pre-record.
It was pre-recorded.
Yeah. Those are going to look cool.
So you ordered
The
it.
place that we got them printed has done a bunch of stuff for me and my other bands, and they always look better than we expect them to. So those black and golds are going to be cool.
Yeah, very cool, guys. Well, I enjoy the music. I don't care what this guy has to say.
Thanks.
Hey, man.
I fucking like it.
I don't care
I
who
also
likes
don't
it.
care what he has to say. Yep.
And I'd like to make it
I
out.
enjoy your music. I just don't like your podcasts.
That's fine.
It's also
I didn't
fine.
want to fucking talk about my fucking podcast.
I didn't want to talk about his podcast
Thank
either.
you. Thank you.
To be truthful, no one wants to talk about our podcast either. So
Yeah, they don't.
No, I mean,
Also,
talking about podcasts is
BT
pretty
dubs,
far up
BT
one's
dubs.
ass. Like, even if we were talking about, like, another podcast, a third-party podcast, who cares
I don't even
what we
want to
think?
talk about the podcast that I'm on right now.
Yeah.
But quick pitch to or quick plug to Pitch Black Sunrise.
why?
You're wearing their shirt.
Oh, I am.
Good for you. Ryan never does anything like this. He just doesn't. Anyway,
Wear clothes?
no. Well, he usually wears clothes, but it's
Oh.
usually just
Dresses. and
It's
things.
usually just something his wife bought for him.
Yeah.
Aw. It's because she loves you.
Yeah.
I have special.
I-
tape to make sure my
I,
dick goes.
I
way
feel
back
like
there.
it's not that she loves him, and she just doesn't want to be embarrassed
Hey.
by what he's wearing
That's called love, brother.
Yeah.
It's love right there.
for herself.
Sure.
Whatever you want to call it.
Takes two.
All right, you want to do titles?
Yeah, I would like
It's been
you. I
fucking-
would like to do titles.
I told you this was a problem.
Can I ring the bell to end the podcast?
Yeah.
Is
Not
that
if I
is
do
that-
it. Peace out.
All right, well, we have to do titles.
Well, it's still not over yet.
Peace. Just blow this mic out real quick.
As we've been talking throughout the show, Adam's been compiling a list of possible toe shitles for the
Totals.
for the episode, and he's
So
gonna
this
read
was
them all.
actually the first one, but there was stuff in the way. So it's Grand Mothman.
No.
Okay.
Because that's referring to my other podcast. It's not
Yeah.
even having to do anything with us.
And then we have 4 lapel mics. Great is a strong word. If I was in Margaritaville, ... Hashtag steak
Early front
sauce
runner.
mustache.
That's another band. You can't do that.
I think it's funny to do that.
That's why it's that's why it's a hashtag. We're never going to use it.
That's where my vote is going. 'cause they'll share it.
Yeah. Oh well. I think we can. He's
Thanks,
the
Brett.
first. He's the first person who Oh, I understand that we're voting on this, and this is my active vote. So that made my butt pucker.
We can't use that because my other band is called Butt Pucker. So
It is
that
not.
one's out as well. Sorry.
That's a no for me.
They're a
dog.
country
Are you guys
band.
a folk? Yeah, I was gonna say folk band. Damn, you beat me to it.
So the next one would be that's a no for me, dog.
Okay.
Mostly daddy issues.
That's it. That's the winner.
Super egalitarian. 12-minute Superjammer.
Oh, 12-minute Superjammer is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also have the
That might
two.
be the name of our next EP.
And then Ryan has a really good one over there.
5
But
minutes.
I wanted Ryan to write it down because it was his.
The Tupac of prog metal.
I'll take that too. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with any of these. It's your podcast, you know.
Jesus Christ, you're our guests. You get carte blanche.
Yeah?
Well, actually, your vote doesn't really count.
Okay.
Like Ryan does.
He
whatever
likes to say
wants.
that, but I take it in consideration.
Okay. Well, like I said.
Steak sauce mustache
It's-
gets my vote.
Okay.
They get my vote for everything.
Okay,
those
so
guys are
we're
great.
gonna use this. We're gonna use this as a hashtag.
Sure.
I think so. Whatever we post, that's gonna go in there.
They're going to love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm voting
So-
12-minute Superjammer.
Same.
That's me.
All right.
I'll stick with.
and
I'll go with it.
I'm good with that.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right.
Unanimous.
I mean, super egalitarian.
Dig Donger, dude.
I kinda
already-
like that too.
we
But
already voted.
we're gonna. Oh, again, I have more of a choice.
He
than
has
you.
the chalk.
All right. Well, I have the blue chalk.
So
I
this
will
episode will
outline
be
your
named
corpse.
12
Outcircle your circle.
12-minute Superjammer will be the name of this episode. And we're going to go with hashtag steak sauce mustache.
I'm gonna tag him in it too.
Yeah, tag them.
Just maybe
got mentioned.
Where are they from? again?
Northern California. They lived in Oregon. Now they're in California.
Maybe they'll fly out to do the show.
Yeah.
Probably.
I've been trying to get them out for the East
Definitely
Coast
not,
for a long
but-
time. So I'll let you know.
Yeah, if they're out this way, we'll have them on. And we'll talk about the difference between A1 and what's that other one?
Sweet Baby Ray's.
Yeah.
The best.
We'll
That's
talk about
barbecue
steak sauce.
That's not
Yeah,
steak
I know,
sauce.
it's not steak sauce.
What's that one? That
Peter
you,
Luger.
You see the trick? Yeah, you go. That was the one. Anyway,
See, barbecue sauce is great. Steak sauce is just you didn't buy good.
what's the
steak.
matter?
Yeah, I don't.
Or you didn't cook it well.
You don't want to talk
yeah.
about steak sauce?
I don't eat meat, so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out of this
Oh,
conversation,
that's
so
right.
yeah,
very
just
vegan.
my vote is straight from the record on.
You're vegan?
I am.
Mm.
14 years.
Oh.
That's cool, man. Good for you.
I made that up. It's not.
Oh.
Wait, no.
Wait, you mean a veganism?
14 years this
this
year.
It's
Yeah,
14
this is
years?
14 years.
All
yeah.
right, mazel tov.
Yeah.
So
All
I'm on a ketogenic diet, which basically means I eat like way more meat than I
All
want
the meat.
to.
Everyone.
Like I don't want to eat that amount of meat, but it
He's
happens.
insatiable.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Um,
God damn it! Why weren't we quicker on the fucking draw with that one?
Because it was me.
Yeah.
Next week we have Ryan Burbrick in. He's our friendly neighborhood beer distributor. Apparently we have him in. I don't know if
we
he's-
do.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
official.
It's confirmed. We actually had to bump him up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's official. We're gonna be doing.
So he's gonna. I don't remember the beer distributor he's working with now, but we're gonna drink a bunch of beer next week. As if that was as if that was a
See you
different
then.
thing.
He's gonna drink a bunch of beer, and I'm gonna
yeah.
sit there with a single tear rolling down my cheek.
Aw.
So, all right, kids, thanks for joining us once again. One more time, deadempires.com, the new album, Designed to Disappear, out on February 23rd. Those are proper plugs right there. Right?
Thank you.
Also, Hudson Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Hudson Valley Creator Fest. Like us on Facebook, and you'll find out when it's happening.
Yeah, HV Creator Fest, Hudson Valley Creator Fest. Check that out on Facebook. You find it. Patreon.com /Dead Radio Podcast to contribute to the show. We also have swag available at Zazzle.com /Dead Radio Podcast as well. Still working on those cufflinks, but we do have bone china mugs.
Yeah, that look like total horse shit.
Because I designed them. So you get crooked.
Everything's a little crooked, and
everything's
a little offset.
crooked and a
Nice.
little twisted, ever so slightly.
It's got
to
a
the
real
right.
Etsy look about it.
That's what I was going for.
That
Thank
would
you.
have been a contender for a title if we hadn't already done it. It's got a real Etsy look about it.
All right. Well, until next week, kids. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, for real.
For coming.
Appreciate it.
For showing up. I was
Yeah.
nervous.
Finally.
There.
Finally.
I was nervous there for a minute.
Did you see the thumbnail?
I
Canceled?
did.
Canceled?
Yeah.
He showed up. He was like, "So it's canceled?" I'm like, "Yep."
It's fine.
So you're just here. You're
Yeah, it's
gonna
fine.
watch us. All right. Until next week. Thank you.
If you're lucky.